Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
Ball out.
Bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow.
Ball out.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percent of shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling and losers. Watch for the jackets at night, they be cruising. I can put together. A.R. Kinston, my hitters be tough in the leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the F in. Step in with my best friend. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. And if you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tay Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fella to made men. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out, get called out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out.
Yeah, y'all already know. It's Boss Cowboy Sports. Getting ready to crank it up. Welcome everybody to Boss Cowboy Sports. Obviously, we had a five-year super panel yesterday that I really enjoyed. But I do also want to say that honestly, I think it was, a little bit too fast. And it was a lot of nuggets from yesterday. A lot of nuggets that came out in the show. And what we're going to do is we're going to break some of it down, right? Because when it's a 2-hour show, we know how it is. People got lives, man. They go stop, grab something to eat. They go stop bad kids or go check on the wife, go check on the husbands. And you could have walked away when that heat was dropping. And we don't want to cheat you. You know what I mean? We're not going to cheat you here. We're going to try to give you all the sauce to make sure y'all know what's going on. And I'm a Texas boy, so I'm definitely rocking with the Rangers today. I'm Dallas everything, so I'm mixing a little bit. I got the Dallas Cowboys and I got the Rangers with a gold, man. I'm going crazy today. But yeah, man, I want to just kind of get into some of the secret stuff because as I titled the show, if y'all thought I was drinking Kool-Aid before the panel that we had, oh man, you can go ahead and throw some cocaine in that. and yes, Matt came with the fire comment. Yes, indeed, 29 days and counting, man. We almost here. Choctaw, he said hello. And obviously we see Sadiqua in the building, man. We love you, and I see you on Twitter now. Y'all join us on Twitter. Twitter's popping. Darren Posey said, let's go, boss. Let's go, Darren. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, absolutely, man. DC4L. So obviously, man, as we see y'all comments, we gonna do a good job of trying to address them. and Sadiqa, she said, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I see you on Twitter. We've been telling people to come to Twitter, and I see you. Welcome, and I love it. Like, I saw you already engaging today, and then JR in the building, man. He threw up the Texas, He threw up the Texas, and he said, let's go, boss. Absolutely, man. So, and I see everybody greeting each other. So we go get right into the sauce, man. We will get right into the sauce. Because one of the things that was confirmed yesterday that was just awesome, I just think everybody need to listen to it, is how people forgot about somebody that I think we shouldn't have forgot about. So let me just listen and we go talk about it. This is the thing, Tuck, and I really need your help, okay? So I'm bought into Dan Quinn, okay? Mainly because I see him moving the guys back to what made sense. I talked about Tank never should have been standing up, in my opinion. I felt like you put a lot of time into building the mechanics and the muscle memory off coming out that 3-point stance and that explosion. Am I tripping, or did that alone make us better? Because when I looked at his film, all of his best years was when he was coming from the 4-3 off that edge in the 3-point stance. Am I tripping?
I don't know if he can hear you. It's a delayed, huh?
No, I think.
No, he was thinking.
I think.
Oh, he was thinking. Oh, okay, my bad, coach.
Hitting the nail right on the head with
What?
that analogy, man. I think that's something that. No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. He's made in his league coming out of a 3-point stance.
Right.
I think that was a mistake to put him into.
It is that simple. And this is not no knock on Mike Nolan. It was just, to me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. The issue is, just to me, is that's the guy you paid. That was the best guy on your D. So I'm just that. If I don't ask anything else, that was the one thing I wanted to get to, is to make sure that my thinking was right. Because from my breakdown, Tuck, if you have any ways to expound on this, I would love to see it. Because, I ran track and I came out the blocks. So I was analogizing the 3-point stance. It's not exactly the same, but the idea of it is the same, to where it's about that first step explosion. So, and coming from that 4-3 defense and concentrating on that first step explosion, I was trying to see if you could expound on that, on how putting the guys in the right position alone is going to likely make us better.
Yeah, I can. Sprinters are taught coming out of from the drive phase with low heel recovery, making sure that their down hand flies past their waist, making sure that their hip thrust is going forward. All those things are things that we teach in the program. That's similar to sprinters getting in the blocks and firing out of the blocks effectively. So you're absolutely correct.
All right. And so I'm going to be honest, man. A lot of people don't forgot about this man. All right. Because remember when Tank blew up, everybody was screaming we needed a war daddy. We drafted Taco in the first round to be this man's replacement. And I think people not taking into account enough how scheme and the bad management from Mike Nolan took away some of our best athletes. So as you can see, I didn't lead him. I did not lead Brandon Tucker, who also trained Tank, right? I asked him straight up, was it a disadvantage taking him out of his 3-point stance to where he could drive and maximize that first step? And so we dealing with a guy who trained these NFL athletes and trained Montez Sweat, trained David Irving when he was at his best. And his answer was, boss, you got it absolutely right. So it's not too many times that we get to talk to people like a Brandon Tuck. And that put me really in a major Kool-Aid mode, where I'm really believing that we getting ready to see the restoration of Tank. Because if we break down the last 2 years when people are knocking Tank the worst, and people got good critiques. I'm not mad at your critiques. But remember 2 years ago, he was in a contract dispute and he delayed his shoulder surgery, which also delays your recovery, which also delays your work in the off season. So for everybody to say, what about 2019? That was also the year that Quinn came in. So you have him hitting the field with a late recovery, using his shoulder as leverage against the Joneses. And you have Quinn that emerged and had a real good season. But think about it. And we go get into this even more a little bit later when the OC, because the OC is going to be with us tomorrow. We moved our new show to Thursday, but we just kind of recapping today. But people have really forgot. And so it's a whole lot to be excited about, because we seeing a return of the schemes that made our best guys the best. So that was one thing that definitely jumped out to me, because it's epic what you can come across when you talk to people who actually work with these guys and you test your theory. You say, hey man, I mean, I didn't play the position, I didn't coach the position, I just try to maximize one skill that I think Boss Cowboy has, and I think that I'm pretty good at common sense. I think I really try to stick to, like, not going outside of stuff that don't make sense. So the whole thing about me talking about me running track and that track stance and then exploding and all of that stuff was more so because I was using my common sense. Like, if I want to explode, I'm coming out the blocks like I used to when I was the first leg running track. I came out the blocks because it maximized. And then why did everybody in the 4-3 defense, why do they all do that? It was obviously over that first step. So we got that confirmed even more yesterday. So that tells me that should be why we're excited, even more excited. So I'm gonna show one more clip in case people was away. I want y'all to catch this, because it's another reason why I'm exponentially excited about the future. Yeah, and then my question also, I'm gonna kind of go into a question I'm hoping that you know, but I'm super excited about Parsons. You know, when I saw that Tank was looking at his pass rush moves and was like, and I know Tank was working with you or working with you. You know what I mean? And Tank was at his best working with you. We all know that. We all know Tank best years when he was working with you, Tuck. We know that. Those of us who've been keeping up, Big Game James been keeping up with you for a minute. I did one show with you with West Coast, but we all peeped what got those guys on that level. So to hear Tank co-signing that 4-3 speed and that athleticism, also with the pass rush moves, like, what's your thoughts on his contribution, especially with them looking at him running a 4-3 under where he gonna likely play the Sam, using them as a rusher, you know, a stand-up rusher. I want to get your thoughts on that, because I'm very bullish on that, but I want to make sure I'm not over drinking Kool-Aid.
Nah, you drinking that good 2-pack, a whole cup and a half of sugar Kool-Aid.
On that, because I'm very bullish on that, but I want to make sure I'm not over drinking Kool-Aid.
Nah, you drinking that good 2-pack, a whole cup and a half of sugar Kool-Aid right there, baby, because I'm gonna drink it with you. I've heard cup and a half of sugar Kool-Aid right there, baby, because I'm gonna drink it with you. I've heard a cup and a half of sugar Kool-Aid right there, baby, because I'm gonna drink it with you. I've heard the same thing about his pass rush ability, and I'm talking about guys astonished by it, like ain't about his pass rush ability. And I'm talking about guys astonished by it, like, hey man, this dude can rush.
Astonished?
He can really rush.
I told you. Told you draft night. Told you draft night.
Yeah, listen, y'all.
I told you draft night. So Coach Tuck.
This is King Pass Rush King, y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm playing when I talk about it. All right, yes. I'm starting to think we not excited enough. So it's one thing when you dealing with Brandon Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Man, Flex, I'm gonna go ahead and take this, brother. I'm gonna take this. Flex, my boy say, we always have some fans out there that want to get rid of our best players instead of improving our depth. I know, bro. I know. But it's frustrating. My boy West called them the people that root for the underdoggers. They hate the boys that get paid, and they always got unending fate for the underdoggers. Like Anthony Brown could take 6 years, and they'll still say he's gonna develop. He's developing. Boss, be patient. And the guys who earned their contracts, they hate them. Yeah, you right on that 4-3 flex. You always coming in with that 5. But man, I'm really thinking that we underhype on Parsons. Like, you got to imagine what Brandon does. He trains NFL guys all the time. All the time. And he said, and see, you got to just imagine what he going through in his daily job. So when he training the guy, he training the Dallas Cowboy guys when they come in there. And then, you know, like any guys in locker room, they say, hey, man, what's up with that new guy? What's up with the Parsons guy? Because he not training them yet. He just hearing about him from guys that he trained that's from Dallas. And he say, boss, listen, y'all already know me. Yeah, listen, when I play this, I'm dead serious. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. Yeah, man. So when you dealing with a guy that's training, that's why I said I want to slow this down. We want to slow this down a little bit. Like, oh man, I get so excited just thinking about this stuff, man. So when he training the guys, they come in there and they say, bro, that dude Parsons, astonished. Y'all heard him. He said, man, put an extra pack of sugar in that Kool-Aid. What's getting ready to happen? And of course, we got Eastside Harrow in the building. You know, he go come in with that Texas, you know, that pessimism that come from scorn Texan fans. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of fame on camera because you want it. You talking about, hasn't Parsons been out of football for a whole year? I mean, you know, I know you want to be a Debbie Downer because Deshaun Watson, I don't even know why you still rocking him on your profile, because he getting ready to not even be a Texan anymore. That's why you coming in here miserable, you know. And I like you, man. I think you funny, but man, I'm telling you, stuff like this is keeping y'all cursed. You need to chill out. I really mean that. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy your second team, the Cowboys. That's what you need to do. All right, just do that. But back to the show, what we was talking about, man. So I've been talking to one of my good friends, Marvin, and we've been making a comparison that I'm like starting to really buy even more. I'm thinking we dealing with the second coming of potential LT, because all of us are trying to figure out what linebacker can you comp him to. You know, it's obviously we got to see it first. But man, there are athletes that come around, and when they come around, they are the next great guy coming. And you see so many people not being able to say, I've seen linebacker, but I've not seen linebacker that can blitz from the middle, that can also come from the edge, where he is a super weapon. A super weapon. So it's one of those things, who would you comp him to? Right? And so I don't know who you can comp him to except somebody like a LT, somebody that's like super freakish. Super. You know, just freakish. And then when you hear about, like, Tank was looking at him, and we was just talking about Tank. Tank was looking at him and he was like, it's like that, Rook? People don't say that unless you showing them some special flash. And he was looking at him and he was like, let's put in some work. This just happened. Where Tank was like, I'm seeing what you working with raw. Let's put in some work. Let's put in this work that I was putting in with Coach Tuck. Let's put in some of this stuff that's gonna take you to the next level. That's why I'm telling you, y'all gotta go rewatch that show. Do it when you chilling, drinking a beer, got the kids put to bed, and just listen. Man, they was letting out some fire nuggets. Fire. And then, I'm gonna just say it like this. Marcus Mosher, he came with that fire. Listen at this, which goes in what they were saying with Tank. Listen at this and listen real close.
But what about the speed mismatch, right, on 4-3 speed? Because I played offensive tackle in college and a little bit professionally, and I played against, and I'll give you a name, and you might be your football guy, so you might remember this guy, Antoine Peak. He was a guy that played out of Cincinnati. He was the guy that ran a 4.5 40, and he scared me to death. Now, he didn't beat me for any sacks, but for me to get ready for him, Marcus, the only way I could simulate that was to have a backup defensive cornerback rush me off the football so I could get used to those first two steps. What do you think about that from an outside perspective, perhaps? Because I think that speed kills, and it's very, very hard to train, and his first two steps are explosive. And I think in the right scenarios, he could create some havoc even from that position.
You're right. I mean, the speed off the edge is going to be really hard for offensive tackles to stop. Now, as he plays longer in the league, tackles will have an idea of how to stop him. Like they'll get out of their stance quickly. They'll prepare for the speed rush. Where Parsons could really make an impact is if he can develop any kind of counter, whether that's an inside spin move, whether that's a little bit of a hump move. Right? Where Parsons could really make an impact is if he can develop any kind of counter, whether that's an inside spin move, whether that's a little bit of a hump move. Where Parsons could really make an impact is if he can develop any kind of counter, whether that's an inside spin move, whether that's a little bit of a hump move, right? Because tackles are going to be so eager to get back in their steps that the inside is going to be wide open. We did see in high school, Parsons was pretty good as a pass rusher in that area. So that's why I am excited about the potential of him as a full-time pass rusher.
Yeah, so and I already know. I already know. I can already feel the bullets flying. And that's okay. I'm okay with bullets. Bullets is okay with me. But and James Gary said I watched Lawrence Taylor since he came into the league, and that's a high standard. And yes, because you're talking about who Belichick, who coached some of the greatest defensive players to play. He said he's the best player, period. So I'm not saying he is LT. My question is, since LT, what linebacker has been epic at pass rush? So it's like, that's why I said, who else can you comp him to? That's my question. Because I mean, Devin White, Avash did a great job of showing how Devin White and Parsons being able to blitz from that middle are the same type of player, right? But I'm talking about off the edge, right? So, so it's and when you throw up this picture, people go crazy. And I understand that because you're talking about arguably the greatest defensive player to ever play. So I'm not going that far. I'm just letting y'all know I'm not going that far. But just kind of just throwing it out there from a standpoint of, I think we getting ready to see something extremely special, especially when you line up what's around him. Hold on real quick. My boy Marvin, he in here with these fire comments. He said, boss, D-Law inside on guards with Parsons coming off the edge. And see, I think it's going to be something similar to that without even really moving Tank so far to the inside. Because we kind of covered that from the 4-3 under, right? And so I'm gonna go into it just a little bit from a scheme perspective, just a little bit, all right? So in a traditional 4-3, look at the Sam, right? Versus the defensive end. And the right defensive end is where Tank played, right? That changes with the 4-3 under, right? With the 4-3 under, the Sam moves to the outside to Marvin's point, and Tank moves slightly to the inside, slightly. But the only way you can really defend it is you got to probably move a tight end over there. So the matchup alone super favors our first rounder. And Tank from a 4-3 under still go have his hand in the ground, Coach Marvin, which is the best of both worlds. And that's what you're talking about, you know? So it's almost like our case for CeeDee Lamb. A lot of us looking at the numbers that they projected for CeeDee Lamb, right? And we looking at 1,000 yards and we saying that ain't enough. That's not enough. He gonna do better than that. Like some people be like, what you mean? 1,000 yards is good. It's also because of the matchups, right? We know Parsons is gonna still, not Parsons, Cooper's gonna still draw doubles. We know you gotta respect Gallup in the contract year. We know that. So what does that leave? That leaves Lamb as a matchup going against likely third corners. That's why you can be bullish on him being the game changer. That's why you saw that epic debate between Lauda, OC, and myself about who go make the bigger plays. And all of us was dead serious. It's the same thing with Parsons. Running the correct scheme with him with that 4-3 under, having him on the exact same side with the number one free agent, which was Tank, to Marv's point, with Gregory on the other side as the Leo, attacking the blind side of quarterbacks. Oh my God. So it's the matchups too. It's the matchups. So, you know, that's why we should be bullish on the impact of what we go likely see from this first rounder. I think it's gonna be amazing. And this five-part point that Mosher brought out was him developing those counter moves, because people go be anticipating his speed. Remember, the OC came out. He came out and he was like, look, the only way I could prepare for a guy that ran a 4.5 is I had to get a second string cornerback to simulate what I was getting ready to see. And that was a guy who ran a 4.5. Well, how do you simulate a 4.3 coming off the edge? So yeah, you gonna have people like, you know, Eastside Harold, you know, the Texans, they didn't even have any first round picks, so you know he mad, right? And it's, you know, they watching us all have a good time celebrating the optimism from what we got going on, and then you got the Texans getting ready to lose their quarterback and all that kind of stuff. Look, I would expect you to come in here and be jealous of what you're seeing with the Dallas Cowboys. We your big brother. You always been our little brother down at the Texas. So we cool with that. And like, again, man, I respect you. I like that you actually support the Dallas Cowboys on our channels. I really appreciate that. You know, but I got to also tell you, bro, it is not nothing wrong with being optimistic about what we likely getting ready to see from Parsons. And it's getting ready to be straight up epic. Epic is just like Lamb. It's lined up for it to be epic. If you look at it from the matchups, if they really come out there with their 4-3 under, especially on passing downs, and they go have him coming off the edge from the Sam, bruh, you can't simulate what they go see, and a tight end is not going to be able to do anything about a pass rusher with this type of crazy athleticism. So, yeah, I mean, you might go crazy because you see me put him next to LT, but you show crazy if you don't think this man not finna make epic ass plays. Like, you drinking the opposite side of Kool-Aid. I don't even know what you drinking. But I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna conclude the show early. But I want to talk about something because my boy J Tuck, he just did a live, because it's a lot of stuff coming out on Boss Man, and I want to talk about kind of like some of the concerns on Boss Man that's coming out, and we go dig into it. We go try to be as fair as possible about it. So y'all pay attention to this next part, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. real quick. Just listen to this.
Yeah, my thing is it's the off season. It says OFF in front of the season for a reason.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Squirrel, drop it hard.
Let's go.
I think that the Dallas Cowboys, collectively speaking, man, we pump up, we hype up, and we try to do this thing too much. We do too much evaluations. There will be more conversations about Boss Man Fat. Is he in shape? If he's not in shape, will he be able to play? Will he not be able to play? Then the news of Xavier Collins going 75 in the 35-mile-per-hour speed zone.
Facts.
Right? There's more troubling
or Frank Clark.
Yeah. Or Frank Clark, for crying out loud, with Uzis in his truck or car.
Preach.
And there will be more conversations about this guy. Can he play for the Dallas Cowboys? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, thank God we didn't have a Xavier Collins on this team at this point, because who knows what would happen.
Control.
And I hope all is well with him and everybody else. But allow training camp to come through. Let this kid do whatever he want to do, mixtape, rap, bebop, whatever he want to do, sell T-shirts and hats and do all of the other things, skateboard. Let him do what he got to do. But when it's time to get on that field, you got people like we just mentioned, Anthony Get Down Brown, Jordan Lewis, Nashawn Wright, Israel Mukramu, all of those boys, they sitting there saying, yeah, boss man, drink. Yeah, boss man, smoke. Because I want that spot. I want that role. Hey, you can go and do that all what you want. You can
Smoke weed every day.
because I want that spot. I want that spot. So go ahead, boss. I can even tell you where the man is at around.
Hey man, Law kill that, man. Law had me rolling. Hey, we gonna be breaking out some video on that one, man. He over destroyed that. But that was so real what he was talking about, though, man. Epic what he talked about. So it's one of those things that I think everybody got to take a pause, because what city this is. This is Dallas. This is Dallas, where we will cannibalize our own for a click. We will create a story that's not even there just for a quota. I'm not saying people have done that, but we know that's done in this city, right? The OC also came out yesterday, all right? And he had COVID. And he went very deep into that, all right? And talked about how he was working out 4 to 5 times a week, which I know he does. The OC works. I used to tell him, bro, you're not in college no more, bro. You ain't gotta hit the weights like that. So you can't have a better source of what your body goes to. He's also a minister, so he doesn't drink. OC has never been a drinker, never been a smoker, never been a partier. Okay, he's a very, very hard-working person. He said, from 3 weeks of me recovering from COVID, I tried to hit the gym. Go watch the show. It was epic. I was like, what? He said, I couldn't do a Stairmaster for 2 to 5 minutes. I had to leave the gym. So we're hearing all these reports about him coming in out of shape. But then you're hearing reports of COVID and quarantines. You don't quarantine people for the flu. You don't quarantine people because they have a nasal allergy. You don't quarantine people because they got chicken pox. Let me get bigger. You quarantine people for COVID. Quarantine? We wasn't even hearing that until COVID. So we go talk about this tomorrow even more too. So y'all tune in tomorrow. We go do another show and we gonna go deeper. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. You gotta be very careful that you don't get riled up, because until I guys do something that they're actually guilty of, I'm not gonna call them guilty. We all know when Boss Man was coming in that he was coming in to a toxic environment. We all know that. Yeah, Daryl gave us an excellent compliment, man. He said, that's why I love you and Law Nation and Boss Cowboy. Yeah, man. Yeah, Law went hard. Law said, Law killed that segment. That was the best segment of the day. Law came out and said, y'all got to focus on the off in season. Yes. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I heard, like, I really don't care if Boss Man rap at all. Not even a little bit. I don't care. I don't want him to put it down. I want him to keep doing it. Because a lot of your football players are golfers. I'm a golfer. I'm going to tell you right now, it takes way more commitment to be decent in golf than to be a rapper. It takes way more commitment to be decent in golf than a rapper. And they never tell people that golf in the off season, like Law said, to put it down. They never do that. I guarantee you, because I play the game. Anytime one of my boys call me and they like, hey man, let's go play some golf. Go ahead and circle off 4 hours out your day. Just on a, let's go out there. Let's play 18. Okay, what about if you working on your game? I work on my game. If you working on your game and you go out to the golf course, if you serious, you gonna be out there 3 hours just practicing. If you working on your driver, you go through a bucket of balls to get your driver right. Then you go through a whole bucket to get your irons right. Then you go over to the short game course and you go work on your chipping. You go work on your putting. That's gonna take an hour. Just the short game. So, if anything, I want us to be just careful and slow because we know what city we're in. We're in Dallas. This is the place to where the media will cannibalize their own. It was our media that didn't want Dak paid. Our media that was, you shouldn't pay Dak. You shouldn't pay him because other quarterbacks got. Oh, hold on, Rick. My boy Jay Tuck in the building. Oh man, I will send you the link. We can talk about this on the show, my brother. He said there's a drastic difference between rap and golf. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. The only difference is optics, though. It's optics. That's the only difference. But in terms of time commitment, golf is more. That's, I mean, that's just how I see it. And we all might see this different too. Oh, my boy said hit me. Man, listen. Hold on, I'm gonna send my boy this link too. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna send it to you right now. We gonna get you in this show, man. We gonna talk about this. Oh man, this is impromptu as well. I've never done this. Well, I've done this before. Hold on, I'm finna send my boy Jay Tuck the link. Cause we gotta talk about this boss man thing. But I can't believe this is gonna be my first time doing the show with Tuck too. Listen, y'all be patient because I'm getting ready to get my boy Tuck in the building. So I wasn't expecting this. And he has a fire podcast. You know what I'm saying? So this should be entertaining because it sounds like we on different opinions on this. So y'all, I know everybody always want to see a fight. The only bad part, Tuck, is I'm not gonna have all the bells and whistles to kind of advertise for you, but hey man, we go just kind of rock it raw today, bro. I know you cool with that. I'm getting ready to send you the link now. Hold on, Tuck. Y'all give me a second. Hey, this live. It ain't supposed to be perfect. If y'all looking for perfect, y'all need to turn on television. All right, here we go. All right. I just sent you the link, Tuck. Once you get in, we going, buddy. Because I know you want to talk about this. Let's get this, my man. All right. Y'all be patient, too, man. I ain't got nothing fancy for Tuck. So when he come in here, it's not going to be as fancy as usual. But he got a real nice setup, so it's going to be all good. But, yeah, but as I was saying, it's a way bigger commitment, you know what I mean, to even play golf. I'm like, Law, I don't care. I don't care what they do. in the off season. I could care less what they do. So I'm waiting on my boy Tuck to get in the building. But yeah, but I would say be real careful with our media. Just be real careful. I'm not saying anybody said anything intentionally, but listen, I always say this. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm never lying to you when I say this. Never. I mean this. Trust, but verify. I got that from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan didn't tell no lies when he told it. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna verify. I talk to Coach Marvin all the time. He always bring up epic points. But I never just run with it. I always go do my own research. Like everybody heard me talk about Professor O. He one of the most thorough people you go ever meet in your life talking about football. Hold on real quick. I'm getting ready to get Jay Tuck in the show. Hold on. Yeah, so give me 1 second. I just had a brain fart because I'm trying to do two things at once. Hey man, but hey, this is live. This is what live is like. But man, yeah, you can't trust. I always say, man, you gotta verify. You can't trust, especially our media, because I remember how they was doing Zeke. I remember how they. Oh, well, we got my boy Tuck in the building. Give me 1 second. Oh man, Eddie got his game face on, so we finna go at it on this one, whole boy. All right, give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm finna kill Tuck. Y'all give me 1 second. Yeah, y'all give me 1 second now. I gotta just make my boy a little bit fancy so we can get in here and show him some respect. All right, so Jay Tuck is in the building. All right, here we go. All right, say what you gotta say, man. Talk your nose. Let's go.
What's going on, my guy? Yeah, I agree with what you were saying, man, about the time commitment. But what you also got to take into consideration, you said it earlier, bro, it's the optics of how things look, right?
Right.
You now playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and let's be honest, like Boss Man ain't just making some, it's my dream, it's my goal, like Dame Lillard, Cole Beasley type music. You talking about big straps, you talking about pushing someone's wick. And so when you combine that, you know what I'm saying, it's not a good look. And that's why I just said on my video, now, do I have a problem with them rapping? Nah, a hobby is a hobby. But if you go back to kind of what happened at LSU and some of the things you were hearing, is that he was kind of choosing music over the sport of football, right? And so when you combine that is a alarm for concern right there, because people are thinking like, how committed are you really to the game of football? And people talk about golf. Cowboys fans were very vocal about Tony Romo when he played golf because he wasn't winning games, but all these issues were happening with his back. He ultimately had to put things to a side. So when it comes to Boss Man, me personally, how I'm trying to tell him is like, you got to move like a boss in Dallas. You got to move differently. And I feel like what Boss Man really needs is kind of a mentor to kind of bring him under the wing and be like, okay, not right now. You know what I'm saying? So like, I personally don't have issues with them rapping, but I know Cowboys fans are, and also Cowboys media is, if you dive into what he's saying, because I listen to Quando Rondo, I listen to NBA Youngboy, even though I'm old, and I know what that really represents. And when you talk in that type of lifestyle, and you got friends talking that type of lifestyle, it cannot necessarily be Boss Man or Kelvin Joseph, but the people who are around you putting you in bad circumstances. So that's what he got to be, very aware of. So that's where it comes to my concern. But for Cowboys Nation, we got to let this kid grow. We got to give him a chance. It's just that we are so desperate to find a cornerback too right now. We're seeing some of these red flags, and that's why a lot of Cowboys fans are being vocal about it.
Yeah, you think it's the fans or do you think it's the media, homie?
It's the fans and the media as well. I mean, because I've been vocal about it. I was vocal about it on draft day, right? Because it just didn't add up. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely understand, but I feel like the Cowboys have put us in this position where we should have never been dependent on a second round corner to come in and really change our secondary. But I feel like that's the kind of hole that they left. Because let's be honest, we all went to the draft thinking we're going to get a J.C. Horn or Farley or a Surtain or something like that. So we walked out empty-handed. So we're really depending on whether it's Boss Man or Nashawn Wright to really fill that void. And from what we've seen thus far, we haven't seen it from Kelvin Joseph like we've seen it from Nashawn Wright. So that's why a lot of fans are concerned.
And that's where I think slightly, let's just talk about this real quick. That's where I think it's slightly an overreach, and it could be a bit of confirmation bias, right? Because you admitted it, and it happens to all of us too, to where when you start thinking a concern that you have is starting to manifest, it can make any one of us kind of jump the gun just slightly. You know what I mean? Especially when it seems like something that it reminds you of. So, and like in my opinion, I feel like in Dallas, it's gonna always be a overreaction. You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is, let's just be careful. You know what I mean? Because
I agree.
Our media's go kind of amp us up. They do that. They amp us up. They make us not like our own guys. You know what I mean? And like you said, he came in out of shape, but this is where I wanted to make sure that I measured it. Hold on real quick. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So when we talk about like measuring Kool-Aid, you know what I mean by that. I know you know what I mean by that. It's like, drinking the Kool-Aid means that you kind of got over your toes. You got a little bit too excited, right? This is where I don't want to get played by our media, or I don't want to get played by the fear of him. It's because, people jumped on him coming out of shape, but then ignored the signs of COVID, right? So COVID is a lung virus that hits people differently, right? Some people, they call them asymptomatic. They show no symptoms, right? Some people, a week can make your lungs look like you've been smoking for 20 years. And Mosher, they talked about on a podcast the other day, on his podcast, the pattern of lingering effects from the players that had COVID. We saw it in Cam. He was having an MVP season. Soon as he had COVID, man, he looked different. So it's like, could it be Tuck? And I'm just asking you this because we got major mad respect for each other channels. Could it be to where we didn't factor in that it's gonna take time for him to get his body right if he battled COVID?
Well, I think, it's going to take time to get his body right, but you got to think about the COVID incident happened after the rookie camp. So it's like it was that small window where he may have got COVID. And of course, they really haven't released what he really have gotten due to HIPAA laws. I know, he also had that. He also just had a baby boy. So there's a lot of things going on with him, whether it's really COVID or not. So I think the whole out of shape thing was going more about the rookie camp situation. But there might be some other factors, and I'm not going to pass judgments on people whether you smoke or drink or whatever you do, especially now since it's legal. But you can kind of just look at somebody and see, there's some signs, that might let you know that someone is a smoker, right? And you can tell by, the purple lips. Yeah, them purple lips, you know what I'm saying? So it is like, I've been around the game and I know a lot of people have done it and they've been able to perform at a high level. But I just think like with Kelvin Joseph, he really just needs someone to bring him under his wing and kind of show him how to move differently in Dallas right now. Because you think about it, for the standpoint of him being out, missing the veteran OTAs, he missed out on a lot of camaraderie being around the locker room, being around those guys, because we all got to, when we play sports right and we come in as freshmen, right, we got to earn that trust from the seniors and the juniors. And it's the same thing for those rookies, right? They got to earn the trust from the veterans that's been in that locker room. So right now, for the most part, the veterans really don't know what Kelvin Joseph can do on the field. So they're leaning towards probably more Nashawn Wright. You've been hearing the players speak out about Nashawn. You've been hearing the media speak out about Nashawn, and also the coaching staff. So I feel like from Kelvin Joseph's standpoint, he's on an uphill battle going into Oxnard because Nashawn Wright already has a leg up on it right now. And so what I was saying about the music things, like, maybe right now isn't the optimal time to be focusing on album and dropping an album here in a few weeks in the middle of camp. You need to make sure your mind's right, your body's right, everything is right, so you can go out and compete and earn that spot. And I always tell Cowboys Nation this: if players do what they're supposed to do on the field, you ain't got to worry about no album sales. We're going to handle our part. We'll buy every shirt, listen to, stream everything. But for the most part, we have to see it transcend on the field first before we buy into Kelvin Joseph. And I feel like for the most part, we haven't seen that yet. So,
I feel like
but we got to give him the
blaming
chance.
him a little bit. Just a little bit, man. I think you kind of on my man head a little bit too hard. Because, like, bro, COVID has lingering effects. Lingering. To some people.
Right.
I just don't honestly think we know enough, Tuck. I don't. And I might blame the Cowboys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they should have said more because we all know his background.
Right.
We already, like, as he coming in the door, we already nervous. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, when we already nervous about you, it's gonna make us ask way more questions. And I want to also say this, Tuck, and get your thoughts on this real quick. Just real quick. If he got COVID, shouldn't we all be patient, bro? Because from this standpoint, COVID affects your lungs. You gotta use those to run.
I feel like that. I feel like, it depends on how we look at things going through camp, right? So if we looked at, okay, he's competing, but maybe he feels like he's breathing a little heavy, okay, we can work with that. But if he is out there getting toasted, and we look to a point where
what you mean?
Because we look at it right now from the standpoint, right? We have Trayvon Diggs, we have Anthony Brown, we have Jordan Lewis. Those are our core three, right? You have Nashawn Wright, you have Reggie Robinson, and then you also have Kelvin Joseph, and you also have Maurice Candidate. If we're looking out there and he is not getting the reps that we think he should be getting, let's say, for instance, Nashawn Wright beats him out, we're going to be sitting back thinking, okay, was it COVID, or was it you really not focusing, doing on what you had to do to get yourself ready for camp and to compete for that position? Because you think about it, Nashawn is coming in with a chip on his shoulder, right? He was the 99 pick. Everyone counted him out, self-included. We saying, who was this person? So he has a chip. He's coming in to compete, to be more when it comes to being an NFL cornerback. You saw what he said about Richard Sherman. We just haven't seen those things when it comes to Kelvin Joseph. And a lot of the signs been kind of pointing to, I've already made it. Is there a hunger for more? And I feel like that's where the Cowboys media and fans are kind of questioning, are you hungry to get to that next level and be cornerback 2 or hell, cornerback 1 for the Dallas Cowboys? And we just haven't seen that as of yet. I feel like once we see it, it'll put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together. But right now, I mean, I follow the kid heavily on Instagram and Twitter. I've seen promotions. I've seen asking for club promoters in Dallas. I've seen this and that and t-shirts, but I ain't seen no workout footage and you grinding, getting ready for camp. You know what I'm saying? If you had COVID, maybe you should be putting in double overtime to overcompensate from, whatever you went through. So that's what I'm just saying from my point of view, what I'm seeing. And I think that's what a lot of people were seeing that caused the video yesterday, because like I said, what may have triggered Fish is that Kelvin Joseph was promoting his new, Cowboys music anthem. It's just like, it's now really
but this is my thing, bro. If promoting your music make people come out and say you need to get your stuff together and all this kind of stuff, it's like, to me, it's hard because it's hard to trust both sides, bro. It's hard to trust our media. It's hard to trust his background. Just trust is severed everywhere.
Right.
Let me play this. You got 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Man, we got Tuck in the building, man. We finna make a show out of this. Let's go, man. Because this might help. This might help my point, and it might help your point, but we go kind of work it out together, bro. Let's work it out. Hold on real quick. Let's play this and then let's talk about it.
Yes. Hey, in that 3-tech, we got a loaded room. You got Osa, you got your guy Ghost, you got Gallimore, you got Tristan Hill that's going to be fighting for his life. He gonna have to show up this training camp. He gonna have to show up. So, where do you see his progression for as far as this year? Because he came along last season until he got hurt. So, how do you think he's gonna fight those other guys? Is he the barking dog with teeth that's gonna bite, or he's the Chihuahua?
Nah, he's definitely not a Chihuahua now. He's definitely not a Chihuahua. I think Tristan Hill is a perfect example to talk about going from one staff, one scheme to the next. Hell, Tristan was, under the Marinelli regime, put him out on the curb on Wednesday morning, right? Pick him up. Marinelli regime, put him out on the curb on Wednesday morning, right? Marinelli regime, put him out on the curb on Wednesday morning, right? Pick him up, right? Trash. That's how they looked at it,
right?
And then he gets a fresh start. A fresh start last year, and shit, he was starting.
Yep,
he was. Yep.
And was flashing and playing well until the injury, right? And so, hopefully he's, gonna be back. I mean, I would hope that the Cowboys would bring him along slowly, coming off the injury and not rushing him back out there, especially when you talk about having the type of depth that they have in the room. I hope they allow Tristan as much time as he needs to come back and be 100. I hope they allow Tristan as much time as he needs to come back and be 100% from that injury.
All right, man, and this is why that was like I felt that 100%. Like I really, really felt what he was coming from, and I think this goes back into our boss man slight debate. It's not no big debate. It's a slight debate, where it's two guys, man, that I think we got to be patient on. I think because I said that even before Tuck said that. I said, man, we got to be patient with Tristan Hill,
right?
And we got to be, in my opinion, patient with Boss Man. But let me throw an if in there to be fair to your point. If he came in out of shape, he deserves everything he getting, bro. If it was of his own decisions, blunts, drinks, whatever, rapping, whatever, it's your fault, man. It's your fault. But if it's COVID, we all need to slow down, because we won't even see the boss man until his body is fully recovered of that. And those are the two people that I would honestly say that I think we need to be a little bit slow on, because I don't think we know enough. Tristan Hill and Boss Man. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for Tristan Hill, I agree. I feel like for Bossman, though, and that's my frustration with the Cowboys front office, that we need a cornerback too. Even though I like Anthony Brown, he's just not the answer. So we've been needing that cornerback too. So like I said, on my videos, Bossman and also Nashawn Wright, they are the most two important rookies out of this draft class for me personally, because one of them is going to have to step forward. Right. And so I feel like we can't be patient with Kelvin Joseph like we wanted to, because we still got that void at cornerback too. So he can't be a 2-year player or a slow play, because I feel like by then the Cowboys will have been moved on. They probably draft 2 more secondary players next year in Vegas and pipe them in, because you still got to consider Reggie Robinson being moved back in the corner position as well. So it's like, I don't think he's going to be one of those players that the Cowboys have brought in to kind of slowly groom, and maybe year 2 or year 3 we'll see the investment actually pay off. I feel like they drafted him at 44 because they're wanting impact immediately, so he has to be prepared for Tampa. And I think also we got spoiled last year with Trayvon Diggs, right? Because Trayvon was able to just kind of step in and compete. But it's like with Boss Man, it's like we expecting for you to be cornerback too, the Dallas Cowboys, opening night. And if he's not ready, then we kind of pretty much rolling out with the same secondary that we had last year.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think us as fans, this just me on this, Tuck. I think us as fans, and especially me and you as people that got Like, we got voices in the podcast world, and we move the needle. We do. And you know that, I know that. And I just want to exercise patience because I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, if COVID rocked this man out of his whole career, that's bad judgment by the Joneses, and that's bad judgment by Mike McCarthy. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I was a champion track runner, right? And I got the flu during the season. Trash. Went downhill. Dude, but I was still had the same heart. I'm out there fighting everything I got. I'm throwing up after every practice. I'm giving it all I got. But that virus got me. And it was only till I got over that virus did I get back to the championship markers, Boss Cowboy.
And,
you know what I mean?
And the effects of COVID is real from a person who got it twice. And y'all see me, if you follow me on Instagram, I run every morning.
My dog?
I got it twice.
And you still mean?
I gotten it twice, and y'all see me running every morning at 4 a.m. That's what I do. But it's like I was literally taking my dog for a walk, and I had to sit down on the curb, and that's how I knew something wasn't right the first time.
And so why you mad at Joseph, Stock?
Because they're saying that he didn't come out of shape to veteran OTAs.
Keyword, they say. Who is the they?
And that's what I'm saying. You got to take that with a grain of salt when it's about the out of shape. And I never really took the thing out of shape into serious consideration.
We would crucify our own for a story.
Right. Yeah, out of shape. I mean, because you think about it, bro, every rookie coming in, they possibly going to be out of shape because the level of training has ramped up another level, right? So how can you really judge what is out of shape for a rookie coming his first day at NFL camp? And so I really took that with a grain of salt. My focus was, about him being prepared. Because like I said, if you missed out 10 days, right, you should be fully locked in. I should see you constantly at Frisco. I should see you around in the locker room. I should, you know what I'm saying? But the way that I watch him on Instagram, like, he's on the gram more than, you know what I'm saying? Monday through Sunday, he's on the gram nonstop, and it's not work related. And so it's really just, it's just a bad look. And here's my thing, and my advice for Kelvin Joseph: if you're gonna do the music thing, maybe do it on the low, not be so loud with it. Because right now it's time to kind of focus. You can't be.
It's gonna make people nervous. You right on that.
It's gonna make Cowboys fans a lot of nervous, and rightfully so. Because that's how I was nervous on draft day. I'm like, because you think about the story of LSU was he got moved to third string once they had Stingley, and I forgot the other kid at LSU. He kind of moved to third string, so he stopped, coming to practice and stopped showing. So they gave him an ultimatum, and plus there's some other issues maybe floating on with, with some usage, and he decided to leave and go on to Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you can't handle that atmosphere of LSU, what could the bright lights of the star do to you? And that's what I'm worried about. And I'm like, what the boss man thing is doing as far as rap wise is putting a huge target on this kid's back, where maybe you need to put that to the side so that can be avoided. Because y'all know, and boss, as soon as he goes out there and he gets torched for a touchdown, Cowboys fans are gonna be see, that's what you know what I'm saying? Yes. And so it's gonna have a spiral effect. So you gotta be aware of what comes with that, because if you out there getting toasted by, Jalen Darden or whoever Tampa might throws out there, see, you should have been focusing instead of rapping. I mean, we do that to our own, but rightfully so. It is what it is. It comes with the territory.
You right on them optics. See, listen, man, y'all saw Tucker in our debate, but same spirit I got with Tucker is what I got with everybody. When they right, they right. If I disagree, you go see us kind of go back and forth. But on that, Tuck right is. And I agree with you also on this one. My boy does need a good entourage. He need big brothers. He need the big homies. He need what I always say at the end of the show, which I got from Mike Lombardi. He need people that's gonna be loyal to him versus devoted to him. Because you already know, you've been in the rap game. You did rap stuff. You know, once bars start looking like they getting put on, what do people do? They start. We seeing that in podcast world. Everybody see my boy Skywalker rising. What they start doing? They start jumping on them. They start. Nobody want to confront him. Nobody because he the ticket. He go help me get with. Now who the person that's gonna still say the truth, even though I see that you on your way? Who is that? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and
So
that-
he
and
needs
that's
those
what he
type of
needs.
people that's gonna say, hey, bro,
Right.
slow
Because
down.
if you the man, you signed with Dallas Cowboys, and you the one getting us in the VIP, and you got the money in the club, I ain't saying nothing, bro. You
He
do
don't
what you
need
gotta
those
do.
types.
Right, but he gonna need someone to check him
The big
when he's
uncle.
wrong and be like, you chill. Like I said on Twitter, the best contact I think for him, he needs to get Dez Bryant's number. Someone can take him under the wing and be like, all right, bro, this is how you move a little bit different in Dallas, because Dez went through it early in his career when he had the whole jewelry incident and the pan sagging. I'm like, he learned. When you think about it, Dez had 3 of the best mentors, and Jay-Z, Jerry Jones, and Michael Jordan. That's the holy trinity right there. And so there's some
That boy
game that
said
can
Holy
be shared.
Trinity.
That is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get the knowledge from those 3, you good. And I feel like Dez could be one of those guys that talk to Boss and be like, all right, bro, if you just move differently and you handle things on the field, everything will take care of itself. But if you don't, if you come out there and you not even starting, you not getting reps, let's say he's Reggie Robinson from last year, Cowboys fans are not going to let that slide.
You right.
You know what I'm saying?
That
So
you is one thing Boss ain't gonna fight you on, is that right there. That is clear foresight of exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be people like me, like, man, come on, whatever. But then it's gonna be a whole lot more like, if he wouldn't have been rapping and he would have been focused on football, and it's gonna put more and more self pressure on him, because it's gonna be pressure that he put on himself.
Week 2. Yeah. We look out there on week 2 and we see Asante Samuel out there and he holding the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, see that? Hold on, man. See, you don't reveal yourself, Tuck. Don't you do it?
Nah, they
because
know,
I know your background. Don't you do that?
They know the vibes how I stand. So, but yeah, I mean, that's something to definitely look at, because a lot of people, I saw in Fisher's comments, they were mentioning like what was available, and that's the one thing. Asante, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, they all have fathers that would tell them, nah, you need to put the rap thing to the side right now. But right now, there's just no big homie I can see in Kelvin Joseph's life right now. It's going to tell him, nah, bro, chill, put that to the side. Let's focus on football, and we'll come back to that later. Because you think about it, way back in May, he said he was done rapping. Right? He's like, I'm done. It's just a hobby. I know where my bread and butter is football. But meantime, this man done dropped more tracks than damn Tupac and Dre combined. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, bro, you said you was done, but you still dropping, you know what I'm saying? So where's your focus? So,
man, that man focuses on that music, man. Let's be all the way honest. He focused. He love the music, bro.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's a love.
Right.
Like, if he wasn't a football player, he still would be doing music. It's a love, bro.
He would do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we had players who did it. We had Cole Beasley. We had, my guy Jeremy Mincy. He did it, but it was a hobby. Like, for Kelvin Joseph, like, as many tracks as he's got, it ain't no damn hobby, bro. This is a career, a fallback plan that if he could do something else, he would definitely be doing that. So
we got Rika in the house. She say, what the hell? I didn't know this was on. Didn't get a notification. Listen, I was gonna just come on to do a quick 30-minute, and then my boy Jay Tuck, man, he hit me, and I'm like, I'm gonna send you the link, because man, we was actually battling this a little bit on Twitter. Listen, you gotta follow all of us on Twitter real quick before we kind of finish talking about this. Tell everybody where they can find you. I've been plugging you on the low, but tell everybody where they can find you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, real quick, before I do all of that, I want to say this about Tuck, man. Tuck about one of the realest you gonna ever see in your life. All right? I mean that. Listen, I don't say that haphazardly. I mean what I say when I say that. Listen, Tuck already have built business relationships with Boss Man. And he already said on his live that he did earlier, which I stand with him 1,000% on, that I want to be the type of podcaster where I build relationships with you, but I still have bigger relationships with the people that I follow, where I'm still go tell them the truth on what I think. Now, you wouldn't think the way that he came out today that he built a business relationship with Boss Man already. You wouldn't know it because he being that blunt on his opinion. So I want to say that's a real reason on why you can trust somebody like Tuck.
Right, appreciate it, man. Like I said, uncompromised media, man. We got to give facts, and we owe that to our viewers and people who support. If I came in and said, nah, he good, let him do, because y'all know I got some stuff working on with him, then it's going to make me come off fake, man. So, I take the same approach as I would take in the locker room. When I played football, you know what I'm saying, I was one of the captains of the team, and I tell you straight to the face, bro, like, hey, put that to the side, you know what I'm saying? Let's focus on winning first, you know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of conversation I'm having to him. Now, granted, ultimately he's gonna do what he needs to do and what he wants to do. But if it's just me talking, giving my sound advice, you might just want to move a little bit different in Dallas. Like I said in my video though, what people really need to do is separate Boss Man Fat, the rap persona, from Kelvin Joseph, the man. And I think once they do that, they'll see a lot more what this kid has to offer. But it's kind of hard because they mixing it all up. So
man, and I love it, Tuck. Talking about love it. I love your spirit, bro. I love everything about your content. I like you as a man, G. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, my guy.
And
Likewise.
and I'm gonna tell you something. Just this is off a side note. I always say this, and I mean this too. I told West Coast this. I said, you don't know a man till you fight him.
right.
You don't know a man until you fight him. So
right.
Tuck and I also had a fight behind the scenes, but it was good because it was something that I did on Twitter that it looked like I was targeting him, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he came at me. Boss, what's this? I said, whoa, kid folk. No, that was that other dude, man, not you. But the fact that he approached me, you know what I'm saying, and gave me a chance to tell him, nah, dude, bro, come on. You know what I mean? And
we both
like
defensive minded, man. You know, so he played corner, I played linebacker. So we never
alphas.
back down for no confrontation, man. But I think it's good, and a lot of people need to see that is that we might disagree, but we come together as men first, talk it out, and we here to rock it. The same thing, man. I ain't thrown blows with people in my locker room before.
Yeah,
it's game time. It's game time. You know
Tuck, I think you Tuck, I think you low key crazy, man. I think you low key.
It's that linebacker, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We built a little bit different, man. But we was on the collision course. But it is what it is, man. Like I'm not here to back down. But like I said, for you and OC and everybody, man, I appreciate y'all work, y'all do. Because like I said, we are pushing the culture forward. And like I said, a lot of people are starting to see what we bring to this Dallas Cowboys media. And like I said, we're uncompromised. I can sit back and say what I feel. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. But I stand by it. So that's where we at with it.
That's where we at with it. And I'm like Tuck, too, because people look at, the fact that CEV was a sponsor. I took pictures with them and all that. And it, I got an event coming up with West Coast and Jalen on the 3rd, and I was talking to West Coast on the 3rd game. It's gonna be a big event,
and
right?
I'm out there too.
Yeah, we gonna all be in it, kicking it. But this is the deal.
Right.
I told West Coast yesterday. I said, bro, the only thing I don't like about this event is people go lie and think that we talking about Jalen because we got a relationship with him.
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm lobbying on common sense. I ain't lobbying because the man is a sponsor or nothing like that. And you repping the way that you rep is an example of how I am too. To where we can do business with you as football players, but we got a bigger commitment to talk the truth to the fans, homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know me and you made of the same cloth. You team defense, I'm team defense. You got a screw that's loose in your head, but still a man at the same time, and so do I. You know what I mean? When we go try to handle things like a man first, and like look at how Tuck handled this, man. This was a fire show. My Tuck was like, my boy say, man, send me the link.
Give me the link, bro.
It was a good back and forth though, man.
Like I said, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing from Kelvin Joseph. I need him to be the next Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like, the things that he's been doing, I see why Fish said some of the things that he said. And y'all know me, I really don't rock with dude like that. But I had to give him his credit. Like, okay, he makes sense because I said this on draft night. Like, all right, let's see how he moves a little bit different. I haven't seen anything on how he moved, but we got to get to camp. We got to see it all work out and unfold. Because like I said, if he comes out and he's the next Jalen Ramsey or Marcus Peters or whoever, then he can rap, tap dance, whatever the hell we want to do. We're not going to have any issues. But as soon as it becomes issues with it, you know what I'm saying? You're not performing on the field or holding up that end of the bargain, then it's going to become an issue as far as his music thing. And I think that's probably the same, conversation I'm sure they've had with him in house. Like, all right, it's cool now. What I was looking at as far as the optics, man, like you're a Dallas Cowboys player, you're in the spotlight, you in videos letting the chopper bang and all. It's the bad look right now.
Yeah,
so,
and
you might want to switch it up.
All right, so I'm boss man. I want you to give me the big brother talk. I want you to be my big brother. Walk me through the talk, because he might watch this podcast. these football players watch us. We know that. You know that.
Right.
So give me the talk. Talk to me. I'm boss man. I'm literal boss man, actually.
Okay. right. I'm just saying, hey, bro, man, I want you to maintain being you. You know what I'm saying? Always stay you, because being you is what got you here. But just understand you have a different spotlight and different responsibility. A lot of people are depending on you. A lot of people are watching you, so you're going to have to move different. They're going to be some people who you thought were just friends. They ain't friends. They're just acquaintances. They only around for what you bring, what value you bring to them, not for what they bring to you, man. So just be aware of it. And you might have to move a little bit different, man. But I believe in you, and I'm ready to get you on the field, and we're going to rock. If you need anything from me, let's go. You know I got your back. And that's exactly how I would talk to him if he was, playing at Emporia State. He's a cornerback alongside me. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful how you move, man, because it might not even be you. It might be someone that you tied to and cause a ripple effect that can impact your entire family and your future, man. So just be smart.
Right on. All right, so I'm gonna take a stab at him. Before I do, Rika go come in here like Mama Rika. She said that talk that needs to include, wear your dang seatbelt, Kelvin. That makes me so mad. Yeah, Mama Rika. Yeah, and he definitely need to be more responsible than that. So this is, if I'm talking to boss man,
all right,
I'm gonna say, hey brother, I'm your big cousin, and I love you. I know you love music, but I just want to let you know you're in a very toxic environment. Very, right? So if you choose to do music, you also got to choose to live with the repercussion and the backlash that's going to come with it. Because it's going to come. It don't matter even if you great. Once you have your first bad game, they go throw it at you. Right. It's going to come. So if you ready to live with the consequences of following your passion, go for it. But to J Tuck's point, J Tuck sitting right here with me, timing wise, you might want a time when you want to do certain releases, because they already got you geared up to be the bad guy. They just waiting on anything to slam you with it. So my advice to you, bruh, if you do your music, your football got to back it up. If your football don't back it up, hang up the music until you get your football game right.
Facts. And move like a boss. That's it.
Move like a boss. That's exactly what I would tell him. Big uncle style, big boss style. You know what I mean? Because that's loyalty to him, man. That's because we know Dallas. That's what real friends do. It's like if you come in and it's like, bro, I'm gonna tell you where you are. You in this type of environment. It's cutthroat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you gonna have to move and shake like this. You're not coming into a brotherhood. You coming into where sharks is in the water, and they have pens, pads, and they release stuff through WordPress. That's how they get you, and they do it for clicks. That's where you at, brother.
Right.
So
any little slight mess up is magnified. He can't have a Zaven Collins moment. Can you imagine if Zaven Collins was a Dallas Cowboy right now?
Oh my God, bro!
You know what I'm saying? So it's just different here. If he was in Cincinnati, nobody would bat an eye at what he's doing right now. But you are in the Dallas Cowboys, and the spotlight's a lot different, man. So he just has to be aware. So I think someone's gonna grab him. You know what I'm saying, under the wing. Put him under there, and we saw him already doing the charity events with Dak. But like I said, Dak can't be a father to everybody in the team, so it's gonna have to be someone in house that can get to him. And look how Parsons is moving, right? And I had this conversation with West Coast. You can see clearly that someone has gotten to Micah Parsons, and he is moving so strategically right now. It's like a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? Because he kind of had the red flags, and even though I wasn't concerned about it, some Cowboys fans, he completely remoted himself to where the Cowboys are posting him on Father's Day, him and his son. He's playing chess with Amari Cooper. He's doing what he has to do in practice. The whole visual concept and the optics of Micah Parsons is a lot different, and you can tell how Micah Parsons is moving differently. Kelvin Joseph has to do the same.
And he likely won't, but be honest, man, he don't come across as that type. Sometimes you got people that's like, I'm gonna be myself, and he look like one of them. I'm gonna be myself.
Right.
And some people don't even kind of. That's you right. That's why you definitely need them big brothers, because he out here moving like I'm in Memphis. You out here moving like you in Kentucky and LSU. Oh, where the promoters at? It's like, what you don't know is 10,000 writers are following you, waiting to say. And they log, and every time you tweeted about a promotion, every time you tweeted about where you supposed to have been off, and they already put on him that he looked out of shape and ignored the COVID.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They ignored the COVID because they want to spin it to he's out of shape. See,
Right.
none of y'all in that man body, so you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the way that they framing it, showing you the spirit of this city, showing the spirit of this media, it's cutthroat.
Right, because it's
So-
the optics. I mean, because you supposed to be out, you missing, veteran OTAs with COVID, but you on Twitter asking where the club promoters at. So it's like they're sitting there thinking like, all right, well, what really is? I'm saying, how did you really attract COVID? I mean, because it's only like a 3-day window from rookie camp to, you know what I'm saying? So it starts the questions, and like you said, you get those writers, they start pinning ideas together, and now it's a target on your back. So just move more strategic.
That's what's up. Hey, if y'all like the first J Tuck and Boss Cowboy show, this is the first time my boy J Tuck came on, man.
Yeah.
This is super dope, bro. And we listen,
appreciate
y'all saw we rocked this. No scripts, no plans. This is off the top. I didn't know what he was getting ready to come with. I just know he slightly disagreed with me. You know what I mean? But at the end of this, I think we kind of saying the same thing now. That we done really talk this out. That's why Twitter don't do discussions justice.
Right.
It
right.
doesn't.
It'd be too hard because you lose context. You type, and that's why I was like, man, let me just turn my mic on and drop a video real quick because
Right.
I feel like the way I was trying to say it wasn't coming out right, and so people were trying to back me in that corner like I'm against this kid. Like hell nah. Like I got shirts, CowboysFansOnly.com. Go get you one, Boss Man Fat Shirt. You know what I'm saying? So I support the kid. I want him to be the best version of himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I stand when it comes to Kelvin Joseph. So.
And then somebody said, what COVID though? It's the fact that he was quarantined. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
they don't quarantine anything but COVID. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just 2 + 2 = 4, not 6. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the fact that they already made the man quarantine for 10 days mean that he likely had either COVID or COVID effects. And I think it was partially to Marvin's point, is the NFL gonna want to keep it under wraps, not even the Dallas Cowboys, because they don't want to spark no scare to get them
Right.
people's seats to fill up. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So any kind of COVID with athletes, they go
Right.
They gonna
Especially
shoot
someone
that
that
on
small, yeah, they locked him up so quick. Yeah, yeah, we good.
Oh
Can't
man, you
OT
one of
or
those
something.
Choctaw. Listen, oh, this is what we dealing with right here. My boy Choctaw say, "Is COVID real?" Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, brother. I'm not. I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know. I fell for it though.
I'll tell you firsthand, that mug is real, bro.
You had it
Hey,
twice.
twice, bro, twice. I
Man,
had
you
the
was
early
geeking.
version back in March when it first came out, and I got it again in
dog.
December, and hit my entire my wife, my kids, we all got it again. the second
Jesus.
time, so.
Hey, check
Yeah,
this
yeah.
out. This a sign, bruh. I don't know if you accept signs. Check this out. Collab more. Y'all
Yeah,
work well
yeah,
together.
hey,
It's our first time for
real.
real. I'm telling you. Like, this
Yeah,
our
well,
first
yeah.
time rocking, bruh. Yeah, good chemistry.
We
Now.
definitely got to, bro. Like I said, Boss is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I support you and OC, man. I love what y'all doing with the content. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people understand as a content creator, man. I'm a fan of other content creators. Before I go watch some ESPN, that's how I got the notification that you was on right now. I hopped in the chat, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We support everybody. We move in the culture, man, because everyone has their own little spin they can put to things.
Right.
Great insight. The fans, y'all rock with this. Y'all bring us insight, man. So, salute to the entire community, man. That's what we all here for. And ultimately, man, is to get these wins. Like I said, you said you're going to be there with the party on week 3 versus the Eagles. I'm going to be there in the building, man. So we definitely going to pack that thing out with my guy West Coast and get things moving. So, anyway.
Yeah, we're a family here, man. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this. Young podcasters fight, vet podcasters collab.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when they see you up and coming, sometimes it'll get cliquish. But at the end of the day, nah, man, collab. Everybody like to see all of us together. It's just good business. And then LaDonna said, thank you, Boss Cowboy, for at least giving Boss Man a chance. What I'm saying is, I don't trust the media. You know what I'm saying? And this is not even directed at Mike Fisher. I don't trust nobody covering. I put it like this. I trust, but I verify. You know what I mean? And I'm going to kind of say, but what if COVID made him come in out of shape? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the media ain't gonna care though. They gonna be like, forget the truth. Let's just say he was out of shape. That's gonna sell better. Write that. Send that out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, Nah, I ain't rocking like that. Me and Jay Tuck ain't rocking like that. We like we say, we keeping it 100 for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then William gave you a lot of love, and this is true. This is no lie. Boss and Jay Tuck Twitter live. I would say Tuck more than me. Straight up. That boy Tuck Twitter is live. Listen, y'all. If y'all want to learn Twitter, just follow one cat. This cat, he alone is gonna keep you talking, bro. I have to turn off Twitter because this mother will have me missing all kind of dollars out of here because he just gonna have a conversation popping.
Hey, I rock with Cowboys Twitter, man. That's how I was found, man. I was just a cat on Cowboys Twitter, and Sky reached out to me like, bro, you gotta create your own channel. I was like, nah, you've been on me for years. And then last year I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna do it. And he talked me into it, man. So I appreciate everyone on Cowboys Twitter for showing support, man. Like I said, I just love talking Dallas Cowboys football. But I'm a fan myself, but now I'm saying I'm taking things to the next level. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all.
My boy said, how you don't trust the media but trust the news? I don't trust none of it. I try to verify it out, but I ain't figured out how to verify viruses. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's all.
I'm speaking firsthand, off experience with LOX, living off experience twice. So
I take my boy word for it. But man, let the people know where to find you, my brother.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter, of course, at JTuck151. Like I said, I appreciate all the interaction. And y'all can follow me on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only. Shouts out to the community, man. The community's growing at a rapid pace, man. I can't do that without Cowboys Nation. And also, you can get your CFO merchandise, man, cowboysfansonly.com. Got Boss Man fat shirts up there. Got, some shirts up there, man, some official merch. So definitely go cop that up. And I appreciate y'all support, man. Like I said, Boss OC, man, keep up the great work. We moving the culture.
Yes, we are moving the culture. And this is Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. And you saw a display today of what I always say at the end, courtesy of Mike Lombardi, that you always want to deal with people that's going to be loyal, not devoted. Right. We saw that today, where Tuck came in with a business relationship, but he's so loyal to the Dallas Cowboys that he gave the big uncle critique. And it's not about the money. It wasn't about the merch. It wasn't about the business. He was like, first is making sure my boy is not gonna get hit with the BS from decisions that he don't even see go affect him later. That's where J Tuck is coming from, and partially I do agree. I really do. I thought I wasn't, but as we went back and forth on some things, I'm like, yeah, I'm rocking with you. And that's loyalty. That's what you saw. That's what you will always see with Boss Cowboy Sports. And thanks again, J Tuck, man. That was a great surprise. We definitely go do this again, man. And y'all stay up. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.